This week I'm going to build the companionway stairs. They are a focal point of the boat. They're connecting the doghouse to the galley. There's going to be a lot of traffic on them, so they need to be very robust. And because they're a focal point, they need to look really good. My name is Matt. Follow along as I turn Duracell, the legendary ocean racing sailboat, into a comfortable cruising home.
This project started with a lot of pondering, drawing, and trying to visualize all the parts coming together. Some of the propulsion motor will be under these steps, so I needed to make as much space as possible under them while keeping the space very accessible. To pass time and procrastinate from the real project, I cut a hole in the bulkhead. This hole is necessary and gave me more time to think. The propulsion motor will fit inside this opening. Eventually, I got to the real work. I drew out where the steps and the back wall will be as accurately as I could onto the side walls. Then used those markups to place the blocks for templating. I want this piece to be a nice tight fit because there will be a lot going on underneath these steps, and I don't want any unnecessary vibrations or noises because these steps are rattling around. I used the laser to template each stair. The side walls get wider as you go forward on the boat, so I couldn't just make one to fit them all. Each step had to be found individually, not to mention the angle of the side walls are not symmetrical to each other. The most difficult part of this project was getting all the angles right. I used my bevel gauge a lot to get the angles where the stairs met the back piece and where the back piece met the bulkhead and so forth. I could have just cut everything square and filled the gaps with glue, but I am enjoying practicing for a tighter fit.
Like many people, I start the new year with personal goals about what I'd like to do differently in the year ahead. Now, I love my work on Duracell, and sometimes I feel overwhelmed by it. Honestly, I have a perpetual feeling of being behind on the project. That's why I'm so glad that I've had the opportunity to talk with a therapist for the past month. Thank you very much to BetterHelp for sponsoring this week's video. My therapist is helping me break down my feelings of being behind into specific addressable concerns, and he's helping me develop tools to measure progress on my own terms this year. It's easy. You fill out a questionnaire and BetterHelp connects you with a therapist from their diverse network of licensed professionals with a wide range of specialties and backgrounds. I think it's really smart that you can easily switch therapists anytime at no extra cost if it's not the right fit. I also think it's really good that therapy, especially for men, is becoming more common and accepted. It's really important that you take care of your mental health. Start fresh any day of the year with BetterHelp. Click the link in the description below the video or go to betterhelp.com/Duracell to get 10% off your first month of therapy. And now, back to boat work.
The stairs themselves are not going to be just glued to the back. I had to include hidden supports underneath.
Why can't you go straight from your CAD design to building the actual stairs? Why all this time? Yes, we're sitting on the porch and I have a silly baby in my lap. Anyway, you spend a lot of time on the mock-up, and I'm just curious why you can't go straight to the build from the CAD design.
I think if I had a CNC machine and I was confident in all the dimensions that I input into the CAD, if I trusted the dimensions that I input into the computer, then maybe I could go straight from CAD to cutting out the final piece, but I don't trust it. And so I trust my mocking up more than anything. I initially mocked up the stairs without wings to see how they'd look, and I found them a bit boring, so I went ahead and tried mocking up the wings onto the bottom step.
All right, here it is mocked up. I think it's turned out pretty cool. The whole thing, it's meant to be able to just come out so that we can service what's underneath there, which will be the motor. In my drawing and in this bottom step, I've built these wings onto the sides of the steps, and that the purpose of those wings is I think it looks really cool, but also when the boat's heeling, it's a little more comfortable to walk down the steps on either side of the boat, whichever side of the boat's heeling to have those wings there. So, but it takes a lot of time to mock it up and cut it out. There's a lot of funny angles and everything that go into building those things. That's the only reason I hesitate to build them, but I think we've both decided we really like how it looks, and so we're going to go ahead and build the wings into those middle two steps. This top step obviously won't have them because it would look really funny to have the wings on a step that, you know, we want it to flow with the rest of the doghouse sole right here. So anyway, really happy with how this turned out.
Why the grunt?
Probably because I messed it up and I was really frustrated by this little fiddly project. It was taking forever. We have a very exciting delivery that's come today, finally. Here, Yanni, I have a baby.
You can hand him off.
Okay.
Come on, sweetie.
Oh, really? Oh, cool. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Have a good one.
You too.
Sweet. Yesterday in the mail we got these new panels which are very exciting. These are what I'm going to be using to finish the interior of the boat with. This is a company that got in touch with us a few months ago. It's called Edura. They're out of Maine, and what they make are basically the same kind of panels that I've been making in the garage for the past 3 years. It is a sandwich core construction with recycled PET foam as the core, and then fiberglass with epoxy pressed onto both sides of the panels, and you can get them in with either 2 layers or 4 layers of basically the same weight of fiberglass that I've been using. I think it's a 17-ounce biaxial fiberglass that they press onto the foam core. They're really, really nice panels, and I wish that we had known about them a long time ago. This is going to save me a lot of time. But I'm really excited to show you what we can make out of these panels. It's a great alternative to plywood or Kusa board. Right now what we're going to do is build the staircase, and it's the perfect application for these panels.
Alright, so this is the back of the steps that everything will be glued to. So this will be at an angle like this. All of the parts are cut out for this staircase that are going to lead down into the galley. There's a lot of very funny angles. It's hard to hold everything together, so I'm going to try and use screws to hold it all, to get it in place. And then I will glue it together, and then tomorrow we'll add some glass to make it super strong. So yeah, the goal tonight is to screw it and then glue it together. So I'm going to super glue my little supports on the underside, and then after it is glued, I'll glue the rest of it together with epoxy and then tape it together so the stairs will not be held together only by super glue. There will be plenty of epoxy and fiberglass as well.
Thanks for clarifying that.
Yeah, don't you worry.
Don't worry, viewers. Don't you worry. You're having way too much fun with triangles right now. Too much fun.
Too much fun.
Looks like stairs.
Coming together. Yeah, now I just got to figure out how to attach the wings before I glue it all together. So I'm using my Thixo Fast Cure from Total Boat to do this, to glue these on tonight. That way tomorrow morning I can come back. It'll be cured enough that I can tape fiberglass everything together. So stuff is super handy for getting faster jobs done.
Voila!
Voila.
Our French is getting so good.
Yes. Just have a little cleanup to do and then come back tomorrow. So now after I glued it together last night, I am doing a bunch of fillets underneath the stairs, and then I'm going to glass a few select parts just to make sure it's extra strong for standing on. And then tomorrow we can put it all together. Yesterday, I spent the whole day edge banding, glassing these stairs together. I put this stop on the back, so this is what's going to prevent the whole staircase from sliding out. I also installed a couple of fiberglass angle pieces on the sidewalls so that the stairs can sit down onto those sidewalls. The whole thing's not going to collapse, basically, is what I'm trying to do. So we're going to see if it fits.
I would say it fits.
Yeah, it's pretty tight. Pretty tight fit. It's actually a little bit too tight. So I just got I've got some trimming to do, but otherwise I'm really, really happy with how they turned out. I have to say thank you so much to Idura for sending this material. We're gonna be doing a ton more with it throughout the boat, but if anybody's interested in these panels, we're going to put a link in the description below the video where you can find this stuff. They've been very, very helpful. And of course, thank you to Total Boat.
Always thank you to Total Boat.
Always thank you to Total Boat.
Okay, I'm gonna try your stairs for the first time. Ooh, very nice.
I don't like that you brought the inspector.
Honey, you know she has to do an inspection.
I don't like it. She was just here.
She does an inspection on every project. There's no getting around it.
Yeah, I don't like it.
We have a few new Patreons to thank this week. If you're interested in joining our Patreon community, you can find it at patreon.com/Duracell. First, thank you to Steve, who sails on Lake Michigan and Lake Huron. He has a custom-built Vic Carpenter. It's a wood boat. Sounds very beautiful. We're looking forward to seeing some pictures of it. He lived on it for 8 years, but it says since has been housebroken. Also, thank you to Jacob, who is in the Navy, in the Canadian Navy out of Halifax, and is very much a DIY project lover. And lastly, thank you to Jen. Jen is starting the process of becoming a cruiser. They are in New Mexico and dinghy race on the lakes. They have a Capri and some sunfish, she said. So thank you very much To everybody who's been supporting our channel, we couldn't do this without you.